Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Sir Worldwide, and you know,
I'm Sir Drinks a Lot. What's going on out there in YouTube land? You know, today we got a very special guest, don't we? Don't we,
yes, we
Sir
do.
World,
Yes, we do.
Worldwide? Yeah, we do. Her name is Lady T, and Lady T is here to tell us about one of her fascinating story about her relative, her great grandfather. His name was Jim Shankle. He was born in 1811. And about her great grandmother, her name was Winnie Shankle, and she was born in 1814. They
Yeah.
were slaves, you know?
Okay, so it's very important that somebody keep history alive,
Yes.
and that's what we're trying to do with this channel. Because you go to school, the history you get, it ain't nothing about us.
Correct.
Slavery.
Right.
It ain't there, but
Right.
it actually happened. And we need to educate the people as much as we can about what happened to our people. So now I'm very honored to have Lady T on our channel.
Yes,
you.
definitely. So, go ahead, Lady T. So
Lady.
tell us about your great grandfather, Jim Shankle.
Okay, Jim and Winnie Shanko are my third great grandparents. Jim was born in Kentucky in 1811, and Winnie was born in 1814 in, oh gosh, I forgot where she was born.
Well, you know, she's
Okay.
born in the South.
Tennessee. That's
Tennessee.
it, Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay, right on. Okay.
And they were born into slavery, and they were separated, and their children, and Winnie was sent off to Texas with the master that bought her, and Jim stayed in Mississippi, where they were both sold. Jim ran away to find his wife and his children, and he swam. The story is he swam the Mississippi River,
Wow.
went through all this, I don't know, walking and swimming the river, and he found her in Texas from Mississippi.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's
Isn't
amazing.
that? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And when he found her, she hid him away from her master because she didn't know how to tell him that Jim was there. So she eventually told him that Jim was there, and he accepted him and didn't turn him in, and he lived on the land. And once emancipation was over,
Right.
Jim and Winnie purchased 4,000 acres with money that they had saved from this master that they had, and also he gave them money. So they saved this money and bought these acres and built the first black community that had the first black church, school, college,
Everything.
everything they
Yeah,
needed.
like, yeah.
They had blacksmiths, they had the gin,
Wow. They had
cotton gin.
they had the cotton gin ends,
Yeah.
they had sawmills. Just
Yes.
like a little town. You probably
Right.
had everything.
Right.
And this was in 1867, around that time, right?
Around that time.
And so what did they name the town?
Shankleville.
Shankleville.
Shankleville. Jim and Winnie are buried there to this day at Shankleville Cemetery in Shankleville,
So
Newton
what-
County, Texas.
So wait a minute. So you trying to tell us that it's to this day it's still the town is still named Shankleville?
The town is still there.
Wow, it's still there.
The church is still there,
Unbelievable.
and I think a school, the small school or chapel or something.
Right.
It's a few buildings still there in the cemetery.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
That's amazing, ain't it, world?
It is.
I tell you. So can
It
you
is.
imagine what he had to go through? First of all, he escaped from Mississippi,
Yes.
and he was able to travel from Mississippi to Texas undetected. It must have been that's determination right there,
Yes,
isn't it? That's
yes.
determination. How this man was determined to find his wife
Yes.
and everything, and the fact that he even found her is amazing.
Yes.
You
That's
know,
true love.
That's true love.
True love.
You know, and then not only did he find her, then he starts this. He saves his money, They buy these 4,000 acres, and he starts this community.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And what's also amazing is the fact that the way you said that the slave owner followed her because she was going to see him, right?
Oh, yes, right.
And the slave owner followed her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how he handled that.
Right.
Yes.
That's
right.
what's amazing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because normally, the slave owner follows somebody and meets somebody, he's going to kill that person.
Right.
So that's a real blessing
right.
that.
Right.
Yes,
It happened that way.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
this slave, because some slave owners out there, they were slave owners. Some of them were cruel, and then they were some that, I mean, I'm gonna say weren't so bad, but they were better than the others.
Right.
Okay, they were a little bit better than
They treated them
others.
decent,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Right.
So, but that is a totally fascinating story, and like I said, just the fact that that today that town is still there,
Still there.
and all because of what he did. Isn't that
Yes.
amazing, Merle? I tell
Yeah,
you,
it is.
I tell you, man, I tell you,
Yes.
that's
It is.
wow. And so like, do you know how many kids he went on to have? Did he have like
I think they had 9 or 13. I don't know. I can't remember.
right,
But you know
right.
what? It's okay if you take
Oh,
that
yeah,
and
oh,
read
okay.
some of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Matter of
Because
fact,
it's there.
well, what
Yes.
what she's gonna do, because there's some very, very good information
Yes.
about Shankleville
Yes.
that's here. So, what she could possibly do is she's gonna read a little bit of the history about her great grandfather, and about Jim and Winnie Shankle, and because like I said, it's a fascinating
Yeah,
story,
6.
and it's a whole fascinating deal about exactly what this person had to do to get there. I mean, that's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing, and not taking anything away from
Here.
Harriet Tubman and everything, but like it's called like Harriet Tubman. She had to migrate. She went back down south on her own by herself to
Right.
navigate. This gentleman did the same thing. He navigated by himself to try to get to Texas. But go ahead on, Lady T.
In 2009, a historical marker was erected to honor Stephen McBride for founding Shankleville and the creation of a college that operated from 1883 until 1909.
Wow.
Described on the marker as the gift of a man who could not read or write, but valued education for young people.
Wow.
Yes.
Totally
And I don't
awesome.
know if you want me to read the quick history of Jim and Winnie Shankle.
Of course.
Yeah, go. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely we do. We just
Okay.
briefly hit on it. Yeah.
His name is actually James,
Yes.
but they called him Jim.
Got it.
He was born 1811, died 1887. Born in Kentucky, was the husband of Winnie Brush, 1814 to 1883. Born in Tennessee. They were bought and enslaved by Isaac Rawlings of the Rawlings Plantation in Wayne County, Mississippi,
Wow.
in the early 1840s. They were separated when Rawlings gave Winnie and her 3 mixed-race children, Mary Rawlins, Toby Perkins, and George Washington, to his daughter and her new husband, a Methodist reverend, as a wedding present.
Now, can you believe that? Just hold
Yeah.
on, let's just digest
Oh,
that.
yeah, because you talk about
Just-
the mixed race children.
Right.
There were so many rapes,
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
and nobody talks about
Yeah,
it.
Yes.
and he's gonna, now check this out, and the slave master gonna give these human beings split this family up, and gonna give these humans to his newlywed daughter as a wedding gift.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
like you'd give somebody a puppy or
Right.
or horse or something,
Right.
an animal.
Right.
That's just unbelievable.
Right.
But go ahead, Lady T.
And that's
Yeah.
how they were listed
That's
as,
just a shame.
as animals.
That's just a shame.
Yeah.
So he gave it to him as a wedding gift, and then that's how the family got split up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable how that happened.
Husband as a Methodist reverend.
Yeah.
As a wedding present.
Yeah.
Okay, when the Christian newlyweds moved to a plantation on the Louisiana-Texas border, Jim became distraught and despondent about losing the love of his life, and so escaped the Rawlings plantation, becoming a fugitive to embark on a 400 plus miles harrowing journey to go looking for Winnie and the children. He hid out for slave catchers and their dogs, quietly foraging for food while traveling, crossing 3 state lines, and foraging 4 major rivers, including the Mississippi River and Sabine River, in search of Winnie and the children. After many months of dogged pursuit, going from plantation to plantation along the Louisiana-Texas border, he finally found Winnie drawing water and washing clothes near an underground spring.
Wow.
Jim remained in hiding for several weeks while Winnie stole away and provided him with food while arranging for her new master, Reverend Dr. David Forday, to buy Jim from his father-in-law.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Read-
That is unbelievable.
Yes.
Yes. So, can you imagine? I can't even imagine walking 40, 50 miles, 400 miles
Yeah.
through. Not only you had to look out for slave catchers,
Right.
you had to try to find food and water,
Yes.
and that's just amazing determination.
Exactly.
Wow, that is something else. I tell
But
you.
understanding a little bit of history, I wanted to know more about Nat Turner because back in those days, he was a real hero.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Yes.
because
Yeah.
him and his boys, they took care of business.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
what
Nat
I'm
Turner,
saying?
yeah, for at least 2 weeks they were
He
they
was a
got
hero.
some revenge.
Nat Turner and Malcolm X were heroes to me.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not putting Martin Luther King down.
Right.
I just can't turn the other cheek.
Right.
That's right.
Sorry.
Yes.
Right.